3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. And his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Thank you, Jesse, for that wonderful introduction. Season's greetings, happy holidays, everyone. This is another episode of At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the Executioner, Daniel Travas.
Yeah, and I'm the Unbreakable Spirit, Matthew Smith. Let's run through the topics and then hop into topic one.
Topic number 1.
Topic number 1 is Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount potentially affecting the new home for Monday Night Raw.
Number 2.
We are literally like 2-3 weeks away from the bidding war of 2024 beginning.
Yeah, about a week.
Yeah.
Number 3.
We are going to talk about some Jade Cargill dream matches we would like to see when she eventually debuts. But for now, let's talk about something that may affect the longest running weekly episodic television show in history. So, Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount are potentially merging.
Yes, that is something I have heard. Which I will admit, as a fan of some things that each company have, I'm kind of intrigued, but also I gotta ask this question: why?
Yeah, that is the billion-dollar question. Why?
Because my honest thoughts here is this could, because if this affects the rights for Monday Night Raw, because I've heard with CM Punk's return that opened the doors for a WWE that has been in talks with Warner Brothers Discovery since Punk returned. That could also hurt majorly AEW.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely could.
This is what are your thoughts on this?
I was not aware of this until I checked Ringside News last night, and you guys mentioned it, and I didn't believe you, and then I saw the article, and then started believing you.
All right.
But as for my thoughts, this would be huge for WWE, but would also kind of hurt their deal with Peacock if you think about it.
How so?
Peacock is owned by WSN, NBC, or whatever, and last I checked, that wasn't Paramount or Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. My take is if they do go to me personally, I kind of don't really want them to, because I don't know if I will be able to watch Raw.
Yeah, you don't really know the cable plan for your apartment.
No, not that. It's more of I watch it through Fubu.
Oh, right. You should still be able to.
Yeah, Anyway, not important.
Yeah, yeah, that's not important.
But my honest thoughts is like if WWE goes to this whole merger thing, I will admit, is a very. This is something I don't think I had on my. This is something
This isn't something you thought you had on your WWE bingo card.
yeah, yeah. That's a way of putting it, but yeah, I did not have this on my bingo card at all.
Ever since I've been watching WWE, Raw has been on Monday nights on the USA Network. Now, we already know the CW is taking over NXT next year.
In October of next year.
Yeah, and SmackDown's moving to USA. With Raw's home up in the air now, what's going to happen to an over 1,000 episode series? A show that has been going on for over 30 years.
I mean, true, because this isn't the first time Monday Night Raw has been off Mondays.
Yeah, there was that Raw Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, because my thought is if I honestly I don't really. I mean, I could see them going to TBS or TNT, but it's just I don't know if that's like a big enough network like for to watch
To
for
be fair,
Monday.
I think Raw used to be on TNT at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to the ruthless aggression era.
Yeah. So it's not like it sort of be like Raw's returning home in a way.
Yeah. And I will admit is that if WWE does decide to flop networks, I'm just wondering is this gonna hurt the? Is WWE gonna have to change up their commentary team again?
Well, I think that all depends on how the merger is gonna go.
If it even happens.
If it happens. But honestly, if I can be transparent for this in my final thoughts, I was secretly hoping Raw was gonna stay on the USA Network.
Yeah. Those are your final thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much.
But my final thoughts are this. If WWE, I am intrigued to see where WWE decides to make its home. But I also will admit, I do kind of, if I could see Monday Night Raw going anywhere, maybe going to Fox, I think that would get them a lot more viewers, to be honest.
Yeah, Fox is definitely one of the biggest networks in television.
Yeah,
Anyways,
well, hang on, but if it doesn't happen, great. If it does stay in USA, great. Now I'm done.
all right, we'll be right back with topic number 2.
Hello, everybody, and we are back with topic number 2. It is finally might actually be happening. It is the bidding war of 2024, and specifically, who you're talking about is MJF. He's better than you, and you know it.
Okay. Pipe it down, Maxwell Fan Club.
Now, my honest take on MJF leaving AEW, I could see him staying in All Elite Wrestling, with a lot more creative freedom that he have. But I also honestly think that if he goes to WWE and WWE uses him right, he would make. I think it very much all depends on how much money WWE is willing to offer
Yeah,
him.
and I've heard some WWE executives don't believe that MJF is gonna leave AEW. I read a little bit of an article. One believes it's all storyline, and the other thinks he resigned as early as All Out 2021, I think it said.
I mean, see, that's the thing with MJF, and this is something I gotta give the guys credit is. He's a very real dude. He says shit that is like, hey, he's gonna say what hey, my contract's coming up. Like, yeah, it could be a part of a storyline. That is 100% true. But
Yeah.
no, with MJF, it is also very possible that he's just telling the truth.
Well, I think we mentioned this on the podcast before. I think it all depends on the.
Money.
Well, I was gonna say the result of the
Of the world's
match
end.
of the world title match at
A world's end.
World's End. If Samoa Jones wins, highly likely that AEW did not win the bid award. If MJF wins, most likely he resigns.
But MJF recently did come out and say that he has not re-signed.
Yeah, and like I said, a WWE executive thinks it might just be a storyline thing.
I mean,
AEW is unscripted, so pretty much wrestlers can say whatever the heck they want.
yeah. My honest take, and another thought is, do I think MJF would be better for him if he stayed in All Elite Wrestling? Sure, he would do well, but it's just I honestly think if he went to WWE, that he would get his name out there a lot more, and B would make a lot more money.
Yeah, but also him going to WWE could benefit AEW a little bit if you think about it.
How so?
Seeing another AEW outsider, people will get curious about the product, and that will bring more eyes to All Elite Wrestling.
That's true. That's a good point.
Admittedly, it wouldn't have like 4 of its biggest stars, but still.
Yeah, but and then my also thought is, don't get me wrong, if MJF does leave AEW, because I really hope that if WWE does re-sign him, that they keep it a surprise. Like, just imagine for a second, you're watching the Royal Rumble, and out of nowhere, you hear 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you hear
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. I don't think they would get the rights to that theme song.
It'd be a different.
Def Rebel would obviously have to come up with something.
Knowing them,
Probably
yeah.
starting off with "I'm better than you and you know it."
Yeah.
Because I think when EC3 debuted in NXT, his theme song started off with "I am the top 1%." I feel like MJF and Ethan Carter III have very similar vibes in a way. So I could just see his theme song starting off the way that I said.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a phrase that people would know and be like, "Oh God."
Yeah, because another thing is, it is also, and this is related, but random thing that I have heard, but you know what? I mean, never mind. What I was gonna say had nothing to do with MJF. It was something to do with. Let me just say it. All right, I'm just gonna say. Do you think it's possible for Zack Ryder to return, but as Matt Cardona?
I have no idea. But let's hop into the final thought. Since this is your segment, you can go first.
Okay. My final thoughts is this. If I am very much intrigued to see where MJF is going to lie, and I don't really know if this is all part of a massive storyline. If so, gotta give AEW props. But if he legitimately stays in AEW, I think he needs to go back to being a heel. But if
Yeah.
he does go to WWE, I think that with how young MJF is, that if he goes to WWE, that he would make a lot of money.
All right. I will go next. If he stays with AEW, props to Tony Khan for pulling the wool over our eyes for all these months.
And yeah,
If he goes to WWE, please have him debut as a heel. He is such a better chicken shit heel than he is a white meat babyface.
yes, I'm gonna say this hell right now, right, and this is my final. I want to add this on. But I want to see him in a faction with The Miz.
Or just even just like a tag team with the Miz.
Hell. You want to have a good heel faction? Miz, MJF, Randy Orton.
But I got an even better one that can top that.
Go.
Now hear me out. Miz, MJF, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller.
Ooh. Okay, those are both good. That's
But
good.
yeah, we'll have to see where Maxwell Jacob Freeman ends up in the bidding war of 2024. But we got one more topic and we're about to hop into it. And we are back with the third and final topic. Our dream matches for Jade Cargill when she finally debuts. Now I will admit, apparently her debut has been delayed or something,
Mm.
but I still hope it's gonna happen in 2024. Because it would have been stupid for WWE to sign her and then just release her because she hasn't been seen on television in a few weeks.
Yeah, but I will admit that would be kind of fun. That would be funny. But I, for me, for me, there was like two dream matches I could think of.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley,
Mm-hmm.
and Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair once Charlotte Flair recovers and returns.
Yeah, Charlotte is definitely like my top dream match for Jade because they both seem very similar in a way.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I don't see Io Sky as a dream match for her, even though she is a women's champion. I feel like Jade would just mop the floor with the genius of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can totally see that.
I could see more of like Jade versus Asuka as a dream match.
Or Jay versus Bianca.
Yeah, the EST versus the woman who for a long time was undefeated.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the same thing till for Asuka until she fought Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Honestly, another person is Becky Lynch.
Yeah, the man.
Another person, from NXT. Now, if we're talking like I don't know, Bailey, I guess.
No, not really. Don't get me wrong. Bailey's a great competitor, but against Jade Cargill, the match is over before it even begins. In my opinion.
Yeah, I think another person, would be I will admit Asuka is a good choice.
Maybe like Shayna Baszler or Nia Jax.
Yeah,
More so Nia Jax with her current character.
yeah. Shayna, I could definitely see Shayna Baszler or Nia Jax being a good opponent. I could also see Zoe Starks.
Yeah, Zoe would be a good one, I guess. Like, it's hard to think of dream matches with women because a lot of the roster, like, I feel like the women's revolution is sort of going in reverse now.
Yeah, we'll
Like,
talk.
let's say, like, Jade wanted to go after a women's tag title. Who would she team with?
Yeah,
And we've talked about our disdain for that, but that's off topic. We need to get back on topic.
yeah, yeah. So my thoughts are another
We still got 2 minutes.
another person that I think now it depends on how much of a if you want her to get some serious impact is bring back a luncheon and have her put no, bring back Lita and have Lita put her over.
Yeah, like bring back Trish. That'd be a great rivalry.
Yeah, that would be oh, you beat Trish Stratus in your ever match. You're gonna go somewhere.
Hell, I don't know if she'll come back, but have the Glamazon take on Jade Cargill. Have Phoenix.
That would be a good one. I would say Karma, but I think she retired.
I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't think Karma would want to go back to WWE after how she left.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Another person is I don't know Ivy Niles, even though she's small,
Relatively new.
but she's also good.
Yeah, I know she might be tiny, but have you seen those guns?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Since we're talking about dream matches, what about for CM Punk?
I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin is an easy answer.
You know what? I've heard some talks about that.
Yeah.
But for me, the current one is, and I know that they wrestled each other once, but Punk versus Rollins.
Yeah. And that's all the time we got, unless we do final thoughts.
Uh,
Which I'll go first since this is my topic. So for Jade Cargill dream matches, the main one I'm going to see is Charlotte Flair. Similar characters, similar fighting styles, I even think. But I'm excited to see what she does when she finally debuts, wherever she debuts. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, it doesn't matter. I just want to see what she can do.
my final thoughts of this episode are this. I would like to see Jade Cargill debut, and I would like to see her, whether it be against Charlotte Flair or Asuka, but I don't know if she should be. I also think that maybe you should have her be managed by MVP.
Yeah, or join Bobby Lashley's faction. Kick Beef out and replace it with Jade Cargill.
Yeah, do that, but it's just if you do have her debut, honestly, you need the, and I mean this with all 100% honesty, you need her impact, her debut to be, if she is supposed to be, and I've heard this, the quote, final boss of the women's division, this needs to be a massive statement. If you want her to bless you, if you want her to debut on in the WWE, and she is supposed to be the final boss of your women's division, this needs to be an impact.
Well, I can confidently say the people of the podcast now know how loud I can sneeze.
Yep.
But whether it be Raw, like I said, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, as long you also need to decide if you want Jade to be a babyface or a heel. She's currently being treated like a babyface, so I don't know. But we're out of time. We'll see you guys next week with our year in review.
What a year. What a year it's going to be to review. Bye.
Thank you for listening to At Odds, hosted by the Unbreakable Spirit
And the Executioner.
edited by the Unbreakable Spirit. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MTS_life_0126.
You can follow me on Instagram at DanTravis121, and you can also follow me on the Twitter at DanTheExecutioner21.
And you can follow the podcast at Odds Podcast. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussions. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.
Thank you, losers.